Hi, my name's Ian and I'm a Mac enthusiast.
Hi, my name's Ian and I'm a PC enthusiast.
Hang on, Ian. You don't think we might get sued for that intro?
Well, let's wait and see. Now, since the dawn of computing, Mac enthusiasts and PC enthusiasts have basically been at loggerheads. It's been a long-standing feud, and so we're here just to discuss some of the issues, and hopefully it won't end in violence. So, Ian, what is it about Apple which really gets you going?
Well, it's the fact that there's such well-designed pieces of kit. You look at anything, you look at the iPod. The iPod is the de facto media player today. The reason is it's intuitive, it's simple to use, anybody can pick one up and immediately know how to work the thing.
Yeah, but design cuts both ways. I mean, look at the MacBook Air. You can't take the battery out, and the same with the iPhone. Now, what use is a portable computer if you can't actually use it for an extended period of time away from a power source? I mean, I grant you it looks very pretty, but is prettiness enough in computing?
Yeah, but even take for account the built-in battery. How many people actually change the battery on the idea it still has a battery inside, it's still portable. How many people do you know that actually carry a spare battery around? There may be a few, but it's an exceptionally small number.
Well, I count myself among those then, but okay, fair enough on the battery side of thing, but no, say with the Air, no Ethernet port. With the iPhone not being able to take the battery out, what do you do if it crashes? You've got to send it into Apple. Isn't that just a massive protection racket?
Well, maybe, to some degree. But by the same token, they're appealing to the most general populace. Most people wouldn't even know how to take the battery out. Most people would immediately, if the phone crashed, want to send it anywhere to find out what happened and have it fixed. You and I, we're technical people. We can consider that sort of thing. But the vast population that are going to be using these devices want something that's simple and easy to use and looks good as well.
I grant you the iPod is very easy to use. I mean, it's one of the few media players I consider giving to my mother because I know I wouldn't be getting phone calls about technical support. But it's very expensive. It's a proprietary device. The headphones are lousy, but that's just a minor point. But it seems to typify this way that Apple have of locking people into their purchases. You know, if you want to go on iTunes, for example, then originally, you know, only really iTunes would play easily on an iPod, to my understanding. Is that correct?
Not really. I mean, if you have an existing library, if you get music from other places, it's fairly simple to import them into iTunes. To be honest, iTunes is probably not Apple's most shining moment. It can be a clunky interface to use, but the iPod itself, and once up and running, integrates seamlessly with the. There is a degree of lock-in, but the flip side to that is that you have tight integration with everything. On the iPhone, you have very limited number of applications, but they all look and feel and work exactly the same way, giving those users who don't want to spend hours and hours trying to figure out each different application and how they all work in their own special way because they were created by different people, all look and feel exactly the same and work in more or less exactly the same way.
Are you saying reading the manual isn't fun? Honestly. No, I mean, I grant you, yes, there are obviously some issues in terms of, because the PC spectrum is so broad, then there are certain issues with compatibility. But at the same time, you know, it's the lock-in versus the more open system. I never thought I'd say this about PCs, but they're actually surely becoming the new open systems.
There is a degree of that. As you say, I think we'll probably have to beg to differ on this one because it comes down to, as soon as you open up the system, fine, you create more scope for competition, more scope for different applications, but you also create a far more complex system. The more open it is, the more complicated it immediately becomes.
I suppose so, but then it gets the other advantage of open systems is that they tend to be fairly cheap. I mean, I can get a good spec PC for about 300 quid now, and that includes the monitor in most cases. And yet Apple, an awful lot of their models are coming in at over 1,000. Do you think it's worth the cost?
I think to the right sort of people it will be. The stylish designs of almost every Apple product around there, the intuitive interface, and the backing of the well-known brand. You know, a lot of people put a lot of faith in that. They know exactly what they're getting when they buy an Apple. They don't know what they're getting if they go out and buy an MSI laptop or an Acer. There's a lot more confusion. These may be good brands, but a lot of people simply don't know. These are brands they've never heard of, and they may be some of the best in the world. but people just are unsure and don't know. When they may pay more when they buy an Apple, but they know exactly what they're getting.
Yes, so tempting a snappy comeback on that one. But yeah, but at the same time, isn't it all gimmicky though? I mean, I remember when the MacBook Pro first came out, and a guy in the office had one. He said, "Look at this! It's unbelievable." And they'd rigged the accelerometer to the sound card so that we went like that. It did the lightsaber zing. And I must admit, I did think it's very cool, but is it worth a 1,500 quid lash out on it?